Hello, visible ra ang presentation? Yes.
Yes po, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. So, for tonight, magsugod atong introduction to hydrology. So, first of all, I'd like to um, mention no nga pasensya nga wala ko kato nga over the past unsa na ba weeks or month. And syempre because na ay upcoming midterm exam, we still have to discuss something around to make sure nga kamo pod na mo I mean like kibaw pod mo kung unsay content sa ato ang exam. Kadumdum lang ko before katong college ko nga naagid mi maestra nga wala gyud tunga-tunga pero ang gihatag sa exam or sa iyahang project hastang lisura. So, syempre, I wouldn't give the same thing sa inyo ha. Dapat reasonable pud ako ang ihatag nga exam or quiz or activity sa inyo ha. Given nga ako pud, wala pud ko naka-meet with you over the past weeks. So, hopefully no, the following weeks, itry na to nga kanang sagunso na gid ato ang class discussion. And okay ba sa inyuhan ni nga online labi na kay nag-ulan ra ba karon dili ra lisod sa inyuhang part or mas preferred ninyo nga face to face?
Okay ra online na.
Okay. If in case na amoy mga concerns, please do let me know lang dayon. Aning ato ang online setup. Okay, so to start, we have the introduction to hydrology. Introduction, very simple, no? Hydrology is a multidisciplinary subject that deals with the occurrence meaning kaning natural presence sa tubig sa atong kalibutan, circulation meaning ang movement sa tubig, storage meaning ang kuan sa tubig, retention of water, no? And then distribution meaning kung gaon sa pag-spread or giun sa pag-cross sa water over different areas. So again, it's a multidisciplinary subject that deals with the occurrence, circulation, storage, and distribution of surface and groundwater on the earth. Now, kaning domain of hydrology includes the physical, chemical, and biological reactions of water in natural and man-made environments. So kini very familiar na taa ni way back in grade school pa kaha or unsa. This shows our hydrologic cycle. So as you can see, sa gikan sa taas na ato ang clouds, na ay precipitation, so kaning rain gikan sa atmosphere down to the sa ato ang surface sa earth. Makita na to, wait, makita ninyo akong cursor, no? Kita na ninyo. Hello?
Yes po, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Thank you. So, again, ang mo ni ang hydrologic cycle. So, ma-indicate na to nga ang kaning ato ang rainfall runoff. First of all, input is coming from the clouds. Diri gikan through the precipitation. We also have T, which means transpiration, E meaning evaporation, F meaning infiltration, ay ano lang, tapos R meaning runoff, surface runoff, and then G, groundwater flow. So, the hydrologic cycle discharges surface water and groundwater gikan aning higher elevation down to the lower elevation. So very self-explanatory. Here we have those keywords written. Mao ni ang mga hydrologic cycle components. Precipitation meaning mao ni siya ang process in which ang ato ang water vapor, more condensed water vapor gikan aning mga clouds or gikan sa atmosphere ni fall padung sa again sa atong surface, sa atong earth surface. So makita na to later ang examples of it na rain, na snow, and etc. etc. So as I've mentioned, mo siya ang primary input towards the hydrologic cycle. Next, we have evaporation. So evaporation, simple, kay mao ni ang from water, liquid to vapor. Transpiration, meaning the vapor release from plants. So as you can see aning illustration. And then we have the change in storage. Oh, by the way, ang kaning evaporation and transpiration, sometimes in other references, gi-combine siya into one, evapotranspiration. But for our discussion purposes, atalasang i-separate. Next, we have the change in storage. So mao ni ang net difference of the volume of water, both the input and the output. Again, the input, precipitation, and the output, kaning mga evaporation, transpiration, runoff. But this is over a given time period. Next, kaning surface runoff, as we've mentioned here, letter R. Mao ni siya ang surface water flowing to rivers. So, well, not just to rivers, like in general, ang flow of water, di ba? Let's say for example, if we compare Cagayan de Oro years ago, nga dili pa kay na nakadagan og developments, we can say nga lesser ang surface runoff as compared to now wherein mas developed na kana ang gusto mo join? Mas developed na, mas daghan ng mga subdivision, mga concrete pavements. So we can say nga mas, let's say, mas daghan-daghan ang surface runoff given that because maglisod og infiltrate down to the soil, to the rocks. So next we have the groundwater flow. This is the subsurface movement of water through soil and rock formation. So this is what I've mentioned nga mo seep or mo infiltrate towards the groundwater flow. So a more complex illustration from this one is the next slide. Again, from the atmosphere, na precipitation, these are the examples. We have rain, we have snow, sleet and hail. Kaning sleet, mura siya gagmay nga, mura clear nga ice pellet. While kaning hail, mura ni siya dagko nga mga frozen precipitation. I don't know if nakakita na mo ana, pero either way, it's not that applicable man sad sa ato since ang mas mo-apply sa ato is syempre rain. Next, we also have from precipitation na ay water on surface. So kaning water on surface, pwede siya nga ang tubig mo padulong og depression storage like padung siya og mga lakes or mga saba. Pwede po instead of mo padulong siya og depression storage, naa siya sa mga overland flow. So na yung mga channel flow, channel seepage, down towards the groundwater flow. So again, from higher elevation down to the lower elevation. If not, then mo infiltrate siya down towards the root zone storage, meaning mao ni ang kanang mga foresty areas, na yung mga tanom, where mo seep ang tubig down to the groundwater storage gyapon. And so this flow chart shows the hydrologic cycle in a more complex way as compared to the one earlier. Okay, so pwede ko kuhaan na lang og volunteer para basahon ning kani nga slide. Anyone lang. Para naa na lang pud tay gamay nga kuan class participation. Igo lang ni i-read nga slide. Ay mo kabala ka din yung explain. Okay, thank you, Biliana. Sige, go ahead.
There were records of early water management practices of the Sumerians and Egyptians in the Middle East and the Chinese along the banks of the Wang He or the Yilu River. The Romans constructed numerous aqueducts to serve large cities as well as small towns and industrial sites. The Romans had the largest collection, with water being supplied by 11 aqueducts constructed over a period of 500 years. Stream flow measurement techniques were first attempted in the water system of Rome in AD 97 based on the cross-sectional area of flow. It remained for Leonardo da Vinci to discover the proper relationship between area, velocity, and flow rate during the Italian Renaissance. The first recorded measurement of rainfall and surface flow was made in the 17th century of Perrault.
Okay, thank you so much, Biliana. So, as stated, during the ancient history, makita nato nga katong earlier nga water management, ang ilahag yung na-prioritize at that time was for their own survival and for their own growth. And then, coming from that, ilang mga Roman aqueducts, it represented a great or like a major engineering achievement. That in which, as stated nga sila Leonardo da Vinci and other scientists, they basically laid out the foundation para sa ato ang ginagamit or sa ato ang foundation sa atong mga concepts nga gina-study karon. So these developments, they basically highlight kung unsa ka taas na ang history when it comes to hydrology or to water management. And makita nato ang practical need ani, and combined sad sa ato ang scientific understanding sa water management. So that's for the ancient history. Next we have the early history. Basig na ay next nga gusto mo volunteer para lang ibasa ni nga slide. Anyone from the class? Okay, thank you, Kape.
Early history, 1930s to 1950s. The period from 1930 to 1950, which Cho, 1964, called the period of rationalization, produced a significant step forward for the field of hydrology, as government agencies began to develop their own programs of hydrologic research. Sherman's unit hydrograph in 1932, Horton's infiltration theory in 1933, and the T.S. non-equilibrium equation in 1935, and while hydraulics advanced the state of hydrology in very significant ways. Gumbel, in 1958, proposed the use of extreme value distribution for frequency analysis of hydrologic data, thus forming the basis for modern statistical hydrology. In this period, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, or ACOA, the NWS within NOAA, the U.S. Department of Agriculture, or USDA, and the USGS made significant contribution in hydrologic theory and the development of a national network of gauge for precipitation, evaporation, and stream flow measurements.
Okay, thank you so much, Kape. So, basically, ni move forward ta from ancient history to early history, which is 1930s to 1950s. So, ani nga period, murag mas na-highlight na nga, given nga nanay water management, mas ni collaborate na ang scientists together with mga government agencies that in which mo na'y nakapa-accelerate sa hydrologic research ug sa iyahang practical application sa ilahang communities. So as mentioned, mas na-develop na diri ang mga statistical and theoretical tools, and mao gyud nakapa-help para ma-transform jud ang hydrology ginikan sa observational studies, mas nahimo na siya more precise or mas data-driven na ang ilahang science during this time. So, mo na din ni nga, murag mao siya nag-set sa ato ang ginagamit karon nga modern water resource management and forecasting techniques. Kay gikan diri ni nagsugod ang pag-collaborate sa mga scientists and government agencies. Okay, next we have the modern history. Naatay another volunteer gikan sa inyo. Okay, Ragma ba ni? Andiyan na.
Modern history, 1950s to 2000s. In the 1950s and 1960s, the tremendous increase of urbanization following World War II in the United States and Europe led to better methods for predicting peak flows from floods, for understanding impact from urban expansion, and for addressing variations in storage and water supply reservoirs. During the 1970s and early 1980s, the evaluation and delineation of floodplain boundaries became a major function of hydrologists in recent years. The traditional approaches to flood control have been reassessed.
Okay, thank you so much, Ragma. So as stated, mo na ning time 1950s to 2000s, meaning grabe na ang increase, rapid na ang urbanization at that time. So given that, mas grabe ang mga flood risks, ang mga ang mga developments, grabe po, meaning mas impervious ang mga surfaces, mas lisod mo infiltrate, 'di ba, as mentioned earlier. So mo risk yun na siya og concern for the cities or for the communities. Labi na sa ilapong not just the water management or the water projects, but also for the water quality for consumption purposes. So diri ni shift ang focus sa mga engineers, dili lang sa mga dams or sa mga levees, pero more on na pod sa pag focus on flood control, for urban planning, para sa mga environmental protections, and for water quality. Okay, for the next slide, kasi natay kapila naman eh. We're last nga volunteer. Aradillo.
So, the introduction of the digital computer into hydrology during the 1960s and 1970s allowed complex water problems to be simulated as complete systems for the first time. Larger computer models can now be used to match historical data and help answer difficult hydrologic questions. The development of these tools over the past few decades has helped direct the collection of the hydraulic data to calibrate or match the models against observation. In the process, the understanding of the hydrologic system has been greatly advanced. Hydrologic computer models developed in the 1970s have been applied to areas previously unstudied or only empirically defined. For example, urban stormwater, floodplain, and watershed hydrology, drainage design, reservoir design and operation, flood frequency analysis, and large river basin management have all benefited from the application of computer models.
Okay, thank you very much, Aradilios. So, mo na din eh. So, as a tagikan sa ancient history down to ito tong second early history, then modern history up until karon na dayon computer advances. So diri mo na din ni ang rise of computers, right? So mas na utilize na nato ang computers when it comes to calculating the necessary um, things that we need to consider in order to design water projects or flood control projects. And so there na dayon ni pave way na dayon ta into utilizing mga geographic information systems, mga remote sensings, um, that in which mao ni sila ang gina-use nato para sa mga hydrology or hydraulic analysis, mga rainfall runoff modeling or mga flood risk mapping. And so, there na to makita nga mas grabe iyang importance because ma-simulate man gud nato ang ato ang um, water systems using these softwares or these um, technologies. And so hopefully given the softwares and technology that we have right now, mas ma-accurately calculate nato ang atong ginapangita nga value and mas makapabetter ni sa ato ang pag-make of decisions for say the community or for our clients. And yes, so that's how gikan sa una up until now dira nato makitaan ang history sa hydrology or sa water management. Next kay we shall discuss about the watershed. So it's very simple. Ang watershed is a contiguous area. So makita nato diri kani nga line mo ni siya ang ka-represent sa watershed. This area that drains to an outlet. So ang outlet kaning dot such that precipitation that falls within the watershed runs off through that single outlet. The term catchment is sometimes used para aning for watershed, which is synonymously for the surface portion of the watershed. So, say for example, kani nga mapa, as you can see, if familiar ang uban murag Cebu ni Pulang Bato Bridge in Cebu. This bridge was damaged, I think, during Typhoon Odette. So, ambot lang if ongoing pa ba ni or nahuman na ba ni. But this shows nga kani nga watershed, bali ang precipitation under this area, within this area, it would then tanan leading towards this point, which is the Pulang Bato Bridge. And say for example, if you were to design that bridge, then the volume, the rainfall runoff volume would then be essential in order for you to determine siguro the height of the bridge, minimum height of the bridge. Okay, so kani, it's also a very simple illustration of the watershed. So kaning linya sa gawas, this shows the boundary of the watershed, di ba? Tapos kaning mga gagmay nga mga linya, let's say coming from this area magpadulong diri, coming from this area magpadulong diri nga line, because these are the streamlines of this watershed. And then these streamlines mo connect sila down towards the lower elevation padung aning outlet outlet of the watershed. So, kita nato lahi-lahi man ang porma sa mga watersheds. Pwede siya elongated, pwede pod concentrated shapes as seen. So this is also a more complex illustration of it. As mentioned, there is sub-watershed delineation with overall flow direction and elevation contours. So sometimes if kuanta pohon HEC HMS, HEC RAS, tapos nag-analyze ta, hydraulic analysis, makita nato nga naay mga sub-watershed. Mura siya, within this watershed, napagi smaller nga ma-highlight. So, likewise, if na gusto mo sulod. Same way, if padako na to atong analysis within a given map, let's say, pwede possible po nga kani nga atong gi-identify nga watershed. This is just a sub-watershed of a bigger watershed. Okay. Next, we have an illustration of the urban hydrologic cycle. So, same thing, water runoff, surface runoff dere, from a higher elevation, it'll go down to the lower elevation. And okay, so karon we have formulas na to explain it in a more mathematical way. So, I represents the inflow. Tapos, Q represents the outflow. So, inanier siya ka-simple. Inflow minus outflow is equal to the change in storage per time. Kana lang yung hunaon. In order for you to determine the change, inflow minus outflow. So, as indicated, naka-kuan siya, cubic volume per time ang iyang unit. So, to explain it further, naatay mas taas nga equation. P, precipitation, as I've mentioned, this is the primary input, right? Minus the outflow. Again, inflow minus outflow. So the inflow, precipitation minus the outflow, which represents the following: the surface runoff, the groundwater flow, the evaporation, and the transpiration. This all equates towards the change in storage over a given period of time. So, since naman mo, mga 4th year, 5th year, pohon-pohon, mag-board exam naman yun mo, an easy way in order for you to remember sa kadaghan nga mga formulas nga naa, kay himuan ninyo og storya or himuan nimo og sa bakaha kanang something nga para masayo nimo dumdum ang imuhang mga formulas. So for this one, sayo na kay siya more siya forgets, di ba? P minus runoff minus groundwater flow minus evaporation minus transpiration is equal to the change in storage. So more siya forgets. So that's one equation that you must always remember for our discussion. And then these are other formulas as well. So again, di ba, utilize man tag volume ani nga discussion. So in order for us to obtain the volume, it can be calculated through the two equations. Wait, atong itry og kuan ba. Okay, so natay one, flow rate, which is as seen here, iyahang unit can be cubic meter per second, then multiplied by time, say seconds. So that would result to the volume. We have the second equation, which is depth, pwede siya in millimeters, multiplied by the watershed area. So sometimes mga acres, square kilometers, depende sa given problem. Ang nakalisod lang yun diri is for you to make sure nga imuhang solution or the answer that you arrived, sakto imuhang units and then sakto imong conversion factors. But the rest is very kanang sayon na siya i-solve given nga hunaon nimo daan ang mga units. Third, we have depth. So we have here flow rate, which is cubic meter per second multiplied by the time. Sige, atong example. Cubic meter per second multiplied by the time. So, dali pa lang daan, cubic meter na. But again, depth is what? Let's say in meter siya dapat. So, you have to divide that with the given watershed area, which is can be given in meter squared. Okay. Para mas masabtan nato, maybe lisod siya i-digest. Let's have an example. No. We have example 1.1. So for a given month, ato na ipang highlight para masayon. For a given month, a 300-acre lake has 15 cubic feet per second of inflow. Okay, at least iyang gi-highlight nga inflow na ni. There is 13 cubic feet per second of outflow. And the total storage increase, so highlight increase, storage increase of 16 acre foot. A USGS gauge next to the lake recorded a total of 1.3 inches precipitation for the lake for the month. So assuming that the infiltration loss is insignificant for the lake, okay, meaning di na nato i-consider si infiltration loss. Determine the evaporation loss in inches. Okay, so akong gi-mention ganina nga maniguro ta sa ato ang final answer. Nangayo siya in inches, tapos over the lake for the month. So again, earlier unsa ato ang equation, di ba? Change in storage is input minus output. Or katong gets P minus R minus G minus E minus T is equal to change delta S. So, with this equation, ang ato mong gipangayo kay evaporation loss, di ba? So, syempre, ato lang rearrange in a way nga makuha na to atong gipangita. So, P. Okay. So, from this equation, manggod kay mura siya giisa na nato si inflow ug si outflow kay ang ato mang given values kay naka-inflow and outflow naman sad. So, let's do the same. P, which is the inflow, minus the outflow, which are the following. Sakto ba? R, G, E, T. R, G, and T minus O plus pagyud precipitation because plus precipitation because gi-separate man din niya ang inflow and precipitation minus the change in delta. Okay, ato ning i-rearrange in a way nga masayon sa ato ang calculations. So, in order for us to get this para masayon, ato na ning siguradoon nga naka-inches na daan ang ato ang input, ang ato ang inflow, atong outflow, precipitation, and the delta S. So as you can see here, coming from this equation, ato siyang gi-isa-isa. First, we calculated for the inflow. So as mentioned, ang inflow is 15 cubic feet per second. 15 cubic feet per second. Now, ang nakalisod ra gyud ani is atong mga conversion factors, making sure nga ang atong gi-arrive nga answer is correct. So, in order for us to obtain the answer in inches, atong i-convert ning feet into acres, then we can see the following. So 1 acre is equal to 43,560 feet squared. I-multiply ni, tapos para ma-change si foot into inches, i-multiply siya 12 inch divided by 1 foot. Right? So, atong itry og cancel out para mas sayon tanawan. So, feet squared times foot, ma-cancel out ning cubic foot. Next, atong answer kay ano, 'di ba? Naka seconds pa. So kaning seconds, we must recall nga ang gipangayo sa problem is over the lake for the month. So igor ani nato i-multiply with the following. So 3,600 seconds per hour. So more na siya 60 seconds per 1 minute multiplied by 60 minutes per hour. Unang nahimo siya 3,600 seconds per hour. Tapos, 24 hours per 1 day. So, cancel na ni. 1 second, 1 second. 1 hour, cancel 1 hour. Next, atong isabutan nga ang 1 month is equal to 30 days. So, in our future calculations, just utilize this. Okay, 1 month is equal to 30 days. So, cancel out. And then, we then multiply it with 1 month as stated sa problem. So what are we left with? You're left with acre inch, right? Meaning, wala pa ni nato na divide sa total area ani nga lake, which was stated sa problem, 300 acre lake. So by doing so, we can then arrive towards the answer for the inflow, which is 35.7 inches. So, palihog ko, confirm if sakto ra ba ni akong i-erase para ma-try ninyo sa inyong calculators. Please confirm if sakto ra 35.7 ang answer for this. Okay. Kita og thumbs up. Sige. Padayon ta. Next, we have for the outflow. For the outflow, naka-mention there 13 cubic foot per second. Same thing. Nakalisod lang is if di ka kadumdum sa conversion, right? So, imo lang ning i-multiply. 1 acre is equal to 43,560 feet squared. Tapos, cancel out that. Ang feet squared, mabilin foot na lang. You multiply that with 12 inches divided by 1 foot, right? So, nabilin, acre inch per second. Now, same thing, month ang gipangayo, i-convert ni natong seconds in a way nga mahimo siya good for 1 month. So, seconds cancel out, hour makancel, days makancel, and then months makancel. Then we're left with again acre inch. Kaning acre, we divide it again with a given area as stated in the problem, 300 acre lake. Then we're left with inches na lang na yun. So that's one way in order for you to easily answer the problem tanaw nimo first kung unsa gipangayo according to unsa nga unit, tapos you'll work your way up para ma-solve nimo gamit sa mga conversion factors or mga units. So, please confirm if sakto ni using your calculators. 30.94. Okay, thank you very much. Next, we already have inflow, we already have outflow. What else do we lack? Precipitation na indicate man 1.3 inches. No problem, kinaka-inches na. Next is the change in storage. So for the change in storage, it shows here a total storage increase of 16 acre-foot. So acre-foot, kana palang daan, where siya volume ang iyahang katumbas sa iyang unit pa lang, di ba? So we must still divide it with the given area. So if you divide, foot na lang nabilin. You then convert it into inch, 12 inch, multiply this 12 inch over 1 foot. Then, makuha na din nato ato ang gipangita nga change in storage, which is an increase of 0.64. Now, going back to our equation ganina, nga gikan ra aning forgets, input na lang dayon, 35.7 minus 30.94 plus 1.3 minus 0.64. So please confirm if sakto ra ang final answer. Okay. So, inana gyud siya. Boto naon sayon na siya. Ang nakalisod lang is if maglibog ka sa mga given. One tip lang is for you to know first kung unsay gipangita sa problem, unsay gipangayo sa problem. And especially unsay unit. Kay basig ni arrive kag answer nga naara sa multiple choice pero mali day gyapon because it's not the dili inches ang gipangayo or dili unsa ba. So, let's proceed to the next example. Oh, by the way, namoy pangutana ani. Kaning example 1.1, basig paspas ra kay ko or namoy mga pangutana. Okay. Let's proceed. So for example 1.2, a swimming pool nga mo ni yung dimensions 20 foot by 20 foot by 5 foot has a small leak at the bottom. You are given measurements of rainfall, evaporation, and water level on a daily basis for 10 days. So as an engineer, you must use the water balance to determine the average daily leakage out of the swimming pool in cubic foot per day. Assume that the pool is exactly 5 foot or 60 inches deep at the end of day 1. Okay. So, unsa to ato ang gipangita? Ang gipangita is the average daily leakage in cubic foot per day. So, timan-ana na to. Now, unsa to atong formula nga atong balik-balik ganina? Diba? Forgets. Okay. So from this, what we need is actually the daily leakage out of the swimming pool. Meaning, unsay ni gawas, unsay outflow, right? Dili siya inflow. So, this basically means atong gipangita si O. O can be what? Pwede siya combination of rainfall. Ay, yeah. Ito ba? Pwede siya combination of rainfall, ground water flow, right? Dili mo apply si transpiration. Si evaporation, gi-indicate siya here. So, ma-separate siya. So, ato siyang i-simplify. P minus O. Kani sila duha. I-combine na to. Pwede good na to siya ingon og outflow and inflow pero para consistent siya sa ato ang solution diri sa ubos. P minus O, the outflow, the leakage, minus E, the evaporation, and then equal to the change in storage. So since we're looking for the leakage, ito lang i-transfer, P minus E minus change in storage. Now, from here, how do we calculate that? So for the average daily leakage man, ato running igo sum ang 10 days nga involved ani nga problem. So very simple no. So palihog ko, what's the sum of the 10 days kaning under sa evaporation?
3.5.
Okay, 3.5. Kaning rainfall. Sum lang ani.
7.
Okay, thank you. Tapos so here, ang kaning change in storage, which is the measured level, basically more siya final minus initial, right? Ang height sa final minus ang height sa initial. So that's basically 52 minus 60, which is -8. So coming from that, simple ra itong problem, no? O can then be calculated. So precipitation 7 or the rainfall minus evaporation 3.5 minus the change in storage, which is -8. We can then get our answer, which is 11.5. But wait, ana siya nga cubic foot per day. So with this, ato siyang igo lang nato siya i-convert, right? So i-multiply ni nato in such a way nga makuha ni nato nga unit. So how can we do that? First, simple ra, gi-indicate na diri 5 foot or 60 inches. More unsa 1 foot is equal to 12 inch. Diba? 1 foot is equal to 12 inch. Tapos, we know nga kaning ato ang nakuha nga depth kay kaning naka-depth pa manggod siya. Kaning nakuha nato, we must convert it in a way nga mahimo siya cubic foot per day. So we then multiply it with a given dimension sa swimming pool, which is 20 by 20, right? So igor na to 20 feet squared. So cancel ni. Napilin na to is cubic foot. Next, ang number of days. Very simple. As stated, we have 10 days. Di na ako makuan. 10 days. So, palihog ko if sakto ra, 38.3 ba ang answer? 11.5 divided by 12 times 20 times 20 divided by 10. Sakto ra ang nakuha ninyong answer. 38.3. Okay. So, basically, inana ra siya kasayon. Igo lang yun nimo siguro nga sakto imuhang mga gipang multiply, imuhang final answer most especially kay mao ang gipangayo sa problem. 38.3 cubic foot per day. So, natay mga pangutana regarding this problem. Okay. So, since wala, I'd like to know na ba ni sulod nga wala naka-attendance ganina?
Nga ma'am, Palma ma'am.
Okay. Wait, check.